Let's talk about sharpening your chainsaw. If you're a DIYer, you got a chainsaw, you want to learn to sharpen it, stay with me in this video. I'm going to show you how I do it, how easy it is, and how you can do it yourself. Let's get at it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome of course. To all my longtime subscribers, you guys know the drill. Welcome back. Today's episode, we got a chainsaw. If you're a DIYer like me, or you're just a general DIYer, you may have a chainsaw at home and you find that your chainsaw is dull. So obviously there are several options. One, you can buy a new chain for your chainsaw, or you can go ahead and sharpen your chainsaw. Of course, this is simpler than you guys think it is. There are different files, there are different cutting stones, there are different techniques that you can use. But of course, I want to show you guys the one that I find is the easiest because, you know, as a DIYer, you want to find something that's easy. Not too expensive. You don't want to be spending a bunch of money. This is not your profession. So I'm going to guide you guys and show you what I like to use and what I've found works the best for me, and it may help you whenever you guys decide that you want to go sharpen your chainsaw. So the thing I like to use to sharpen my chainsaw is a tool made by Dremel. It's a Dremel 1453. It's a chainsaw sharpening tool. And before you guys get at me and say, oh, I don't want to buy a new tool, I don't have a Dremel, and this won't work for me, and you're going to skip the video, there is a tool that they sell on Amazon that costs the same as this, but has the Dremel attachment built in. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. I'll show you guys that, but it functions the exact same way as this tool. So before you skip on, there is a solution for you. You just got to stay with me and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So now, if you guys have this tool, you want to find out which instruction booklet you have, because unfortunately they come with two different instruction booklets that I've found. So if you guys have a book that looks kind of like this, throw it away. You don't need it. It's garbage. If you guys got an instruction paper that looks like this is what you guys are going to need. If you guys have this type of instruction manual, great. If you don't worry about it. I'm going to talk you guys through it. You can pause the video. I'll leave it up on the screen for the important parts that you guys need to know. The first thing you want to know is what comes inside the box. Now inside the box, you're going to get the arbor that fits over your Dremel. You're going to get a wrench, you're going to get some spacers, and of course you're going to get the grinding wheels that you guys are going to need. Now this is important. They come in different colors based on the chain that you're going to be using, so you're going to need to know which one works for you. So first things first, when it comes to sharpening your chain, you want to know what type of chain you have on your chainsaw. If you purchase a new chainsaw chain, it's going to tell you this one is a 3/8 low profile pitch. That's what you want to know. And that's the important thing that you need before you sharpen your chainsaw. Now, if you don't know what size you have, a couple ways you can go about it. If it's a stock chain that fits on your chainsaw, you can just look up the model number of your chainsaw and see what chain comes on your chainsaw. Or sometimes if you remove the cap here, it's labeled on the blade. But I'm sure you guys can figure it out. All you really need to find out is what pitch you have on your chainsaw. So the first thing you want to do is find out what grinding stone you're going to need. And if you look on this chart, it's going to tell me that I have a 3/8 pitch low profile chain. And for that, my grinding wheel is going to be 5/32 of an inch. And the color is going to be blue. So now you know what size stone you need. Now you want to find out if there's any spacers when you're assembling this thing. The good thing is, if you're using it on the same chainsaw, you only have to do this once the first time you assemble this thing. So now if you look down to the chart further down, you'll see if you're using the 5/32 diameter blue grinding stone, then there are no spacers needed. If it's a 3/16, you're going to need one. And if it's a 7/32, you're going to need both spacers. With that said, all you need to do is assemble your tool, and this goes together pretty easy. You got two screws. If you have a spacer, you slide it in and you tighten up the screws and get it all squared away and assembled. It's pretty easy, foolproof. The instruction manual shows you the orientation that you need, but once you have the screws tightened down, you're good to go and your tool is ready. So now let's grab our grinding wheel and let's slide it into our Dremel and let's go ahead and sharpen this blade, and I'll show you guys how to do it. All right, the first thing we want to do before we begin is we want to assemble our tool. So the first thing you want to do is take this part off of your Dremel, and then you can just set it aside. Then next you want to go ahead and slide the tool onto your Dremel, and it just threads on just like your old one did. Once you have this in place, next thing you want to do is locate your cutting stone. And based on the chart, this is the one that I'm going to use. So you want to go ahead and slide this into your Dremel and go ahead and tighten it down. Once you have it tight, you can go ahead and lock it in place with the wrench that comes with your Dremel. You want to make sure that this is tight. You don't want your stone flying off. Once that's done, now we're ready to go ahead and start sharpening. If you notice on the Dremel here, we have 2 marks for 30 degrees, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what those mean and how you're going to use them. All right, let's get at it and let's sharpen this thing up. The first thing you want to do is have your chainsaw oriented in one direction. In this case, I'm going to have mine pointed, the blade pointed to the right. And if you see here, this is our first tooth, and then it skips this one, and then there's another one pointed in the same direction. So what you want to do is you want to sharpen all your teeth that are facing this direction first, and then we're going to flip our chainsaw around so the blade points to the left, and then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we sharpen alternate teeth and we go all the way around. Now, how do we go about sharpening the teeth? What you want to do is insert the grinding wheel rest it on the tooth, and you want to point it and press a little bit to the left, and you want to orient this angle here, this 30-degree angle. You want to keep it parallel with the blade. So what you want to do is you want to move in a direction like this, give it 2 or 3 passes, and then that's it. As long as this 30-degree angle is parallel to the bar, you're going to move it back and forth just like this. All right, so let's go ahead and sharpen it. Once you're done, put a marker or something on the blade that was sharpened, and you're going to advance the blade until you've gone all the way around and sharpened all the teeth. And with this process, it's pretty much just a simple rinse and repeat. Take your time, making sure that you have the angle straight all the way around until you get all the teeth. Once we're back to the original starting position, we can go ahead, flip the blade around, and then let's sharpen the other side. Once you have the blade flipped around on the opposite side, again, you want to go ahead, line up your blade again, making sure that this 30-degree angle is parallel with your blade, and you're going to run it like this, working your way all the way around, advancing your teeth as you go. The important thing when you're doing this is to take your time. You don't want to rush it. You may see some sparks flying, but that's normal. It's okay. Just go ahead, take your time, work your way all the way around until all the teeth are sharpened. Hey guys, welcome back. That was pretty easy. Chainsaw sharpened. Now this should take you 5-10 minutes, not that much more. But if you notice here, don't know if you can see it, but the teeth are nice and sharp, and that's all you really need. The good thing about having one of these chainsaw sharpeners, whichever one you use, you can get about, depending on how aggressive you are with the sharpening, 4 to 5 sharpens per chain, which saves you a ton of money. You don't have to go out and invest and buy a new chain. Now listen, if you're an avid DIYer and you use your chainsaw all the time, chances are you're probably going to end up having to buy a chain or 2 as you go along. But this will save you some money because you can get an extension in the life of your chain throughout the process. Now listen, once you have the tool for your Dremel, or if you've purchased the tool, I'll leave a link in the description below. Again, these are only about 20 bucks, so it's not that big of an investment, and they work great. Now listen, the only thing you have to worry about with these is maintain that 30-degree angle parallel with the blade as you go in and out. Give it 3 or 4 passes to get the blade nice and sharp. But once you're done with that, it's pretty easy. Your chainsaw is now sharp, and you can go back to cutting and doing what you guys like to do. If the content was interesting to you and you guys appreciate it, don't forget, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, share the video with your friends. I enjoy making these videos for you guys, and of course, links are all in the description for everything that I use and where you guys can find them. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have your chainsaw nice and sharp, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.